Harden shoots his wife to death, a wife who he'd been with for 14 years and shares 2 children together. He then takes her body to the backyard, burns her, and then buries her body in a shallow grave. 39-year-old Kenneth Harden Jr. shot 40-year-old Carrie Harden, his wife, in their home after a domestic dispute. Now, Kenneth Harden is a pastor, okay? And his wife is a nurse, but she also owned a multi-million-dollar nurse staffing company that she built from the ground up. So they were doing very well for themselves. On the day that he killed his wife, he called his father and flew his father out to Georgia, where they live, where this actually took place. It's alleged that he met his father at the bank, gave his father access to all of his financial information, gave him his last will and testament, and then ultimately confessed to his father that he killed his wife and said that he would be on the run. He then fled to Louisiana, where he was apprehended, but his father was the one who made the call to turn him in. Now, a friend of Carrie said that she texted her late that night and asked her if she could come over and spend the night with her.
And a half. She was brutally murdered after years of hiding from others the domestic violence that she suffered. Advocates for victims of domestic violence hope others will hear this story and they will reach out for help.
I never imagined that something like this would happen to Carrie. You know, it's like, no way.
Carrie was too big for this to happen to her.
Alicia Allen and Chastity Adams Miller are still in shock over their friend's brutal murder. Carrie Harden graduated from Fort Zumwalt South High School, became a nurse, and then built a multi-million-dollar nurse staffing business.
So the most impressive thing about Carrie was she always wanted to improve on things.
Carrie married Ken Harden, and they moved to Georgia in 2020. But there had been a previous incident of domestic violence.
Kenny had bust out the window to the bathroom to get to her and chased her down the road with a gun.
I asked her mother why Carrie never left Ken.
She wanted to keep her family together, and she believed that he would stop, that he wouldn't really harm her.
From the couple's home outside.
Beach, I sneak.
So doesn't this kind of tie into what we were just talking about? Like the pastor fronting like he's holier than thou, and then ends up killing his wife. But he did say that his last will and testament was to give the money and stuff to his father and let him work it out. So
They found him already?
So the rest of the clip was they ended up finding him the same time they found the body, because the body was in the backyard, because it was a large property. It was in the back in a very shallow grave. So he said the first call they got was them finding the grave, and immediately the next call was they found him because he was down in Louisiana. They tracked him with a plate tracker, through the tolls and whatnot. So,
well, that's funny. Clearly, he hasn't seen enough murder mysteries.
Right.
First of all,
nigga don't know how to be on the run.
Right. No, but why do you have a shallow grave? I'm just saying. And also, when you bury a body,
and he tried to burn it, but it wasn't fully burned.
And he lived in the woods, and he couldn't burn a body. I mean, I'm not saying it like
that's
that,
not the point. Let's not get it twisted.
You're right. It's not. Sorry.
And you drove with license plates attached to your name.
Not even a rental car.
Even then, you got your license on that too.
But that's easier to get around. You can have a fake ID.
They found him in a motel.
6. Where they leave a light on for
7.
you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, my perspective on this is just, I think it's gross. I think that while it may be hard to get away from like an abusive situation, end of the day, like, yeah, you want to keep your family together, but you got to love yourself first. Because you can't provide love to your kids. And
if you dead.
Yeah. I mean, you really can't. If you just so beat up or no longer with us, like, how do you provide for your kids? Like, what's the point of having stayed? What is your point?
What did that prove?
Well, okay.
He
just looking at the video, going over the information, the point that he is the pastor. Why
it doesn't change anything?
I don't think that it changes anything either. But why do you think that we get so caught up in like the titles of things, people's image? Because pastors, they're supposed to be holier than thou. They're supposed to be better than us. Are they? Better than us is the wrong That's the wrong thing.
They should be living Christ-like. I guess that's probably a better way to say it. Well, I won't say Christ-like, but they should be living according to whatever
the path of the Lord,
of whatever their religion is. You know.
Can I?
Yes.
Thank you. Can I tie this back around?
To what?
Respect. These titles, positions have a certain level of respect that come with it, have a certain level of, well, everything else is subcategory, but it all is to gain the respect of the masses or, you know, a specific group of people. So if I have, for example, if I get listed on the Forbes list, it's easier for you to respect me as a wealthy man. It's all for respect. Or a wealthy woman. It doesn't matter who you are. If you get a doctorate degree, it's easier to respect you as a educated person opposed to somebody who just has an associate's degree. Right? So what happens is, from the outside looking in, we are taught to respect titles. We are taught to respect accolades. We are taught to respect certain things that people are able to be decorated with. Now we have a pastor who typically would get respect from his church. I don't know what his household was like, right? He might have not respected himself. There's a lot of men who don't respect themselves because their woman makes more money than them, and that's why they're uncomfortable, right?
He getting a bunch of tax-free money though.
He might. I
haven't thought about it myself now.
He
Reverend Renegade on these niggas.
She clearly knows how to start a business and grow a business. She was able to make it profitable and well, I don't know if it's profitable, but make it $1 million business. Multi-million business. So I hate hearing situations like this because I don't think it's right, but I would love to know the details of what the root was. When that first situation when there was a domestic violence call that was stated and he was running down with the gun. I just want to know what that conversation looked like, what transpired, you know, because there's a lot of things that happen, you know, like we sit here from the outside looking in and you don't even know, like, imagine he was getting cheated on. And I'm not saying that's a reason, but it could be like things like this happen and then we only hear one side of the story. And it's unfortunate because she wouldn't even be here to tell her side of the story. But I would like to know more details before I make a real, you know, a real opinion on it. Although I do agree that murder is still not the answer.
I think that in that situation, I wouldn't be questioning what her side of the story is. Yeah. You busting down the bathroom window to chase her down the street with a gun. There's nothing that you can tell me caused that reaction. Nothing. I don't care if it was cheating.
You'd be surprised.
I don't care if he went through her phone.
Especially because he's chasing versus like the other way around.
I don't care if she took some of his money. Like that. I
do think that different things affect people differently. And although that we could sit here and say what is, you know, acceptable or what you can and can't do. I do believe right and wrong. I don't believe somebody should be murdered, especially if it was for infidelity. I don't believe that she deserves to be murdered. But going back to just the whole, you know, mindset and what happened, the build, you know, there's some things that happen to people that we don't even know that happened, you know, and you might hear it or you might not.
Honestly, it's a terrible situation. Like, because now they daddy finna be in jail.
Word.
Their mama is dead. They gonna hate their daddy, you know? So, I mean, hopefully they have great grandparents. Like,
this brought me to, I just watched this video, which was fake news at first about cheating. And it said, stop cheating. And there was a video of a house and they were going through the house and there was just blood everywhere. Like this, it looked insane. Blood on the walls, blood going down the floor, blood on the sink, going into the living room to the kitchen. Like it was blood in the rooms and blood on the door handles. It was blood all over. And, you know, I was reading the caption because I was like, in my brain, there's no way this is one person. This is too much blood. Like, this gotta be.
He was running.
Nah, it was no, the amount of blood it was, like they would have been dead. I mean, they would just probably just at that point chopping the body up in different sections of the
That's
house.
what I was thinking, actually.
But it was more than one person. It was
the person they was cheating with.
no, it was themselves. It was a homicide, suicide. So, and he killed the kids as well. So I think they had 2 kids. It was in, I don't know how to pronounce this, Manoa, Hawaii, Manoa, Hawaii. And I mean, there was, when I started reading up on it, there was a lot of time being built up of him saying like, hey, you know, this and this is like, he was under too much financial stress. He couldn't afford this. His chiropractor business wasn't doing well and all of those different things. And they actually coordinated and came up with a plan to kill themselves and the kids.
The husband and wife?
Yeah. But the actual homicide, suicide, she wasn't in agreement when it actually happened. From the last message that they said, that was sent, he was said, okay, I think the time is now.
Was he church? They went to church too, right?
I'm not sure. I just read, I started reading it. So
I lost all sympathy for that story, knowing that it was planned from.
Well, it wasn't. But the thing is, he said it's time to do it, and she was saying, "No, we can move to Japan with my family, and you know it'd be easier." So, like, she was trying to find a solution, and that night is when it all happened. So, and it wasn't a suicide for both of them that committed suicide. He committed
Killed her.
Yeah, he committed murder on everybody and then killed himself.
Murder suicide.
Yeah. So it wasn't like that. Like, let's say if I
It was supposed to be them together.
Exactly. I kill myself, you kill yourself. But that's not what happened. He killed them all and then killed himself. My cousin's best friend last year, she was dating a guy. He got caught. They were married, actually. He got caught cheating. She threatened to leave. They got back together. He was cheating again. She said she was leaving. He refused, and I feel bad because his son was a really good football player as well. Like, that's how I knew of him. And, he picked the son up and he locked the son in a car and lit the son on fire. And then he
Wait, you know the kid?
I know the kid. I know all of them. Well, I don't really know the father, but
the kid that died.
Yeah, I know of the kid. And then my cousin's best friend is the wife. And
Of the guy?
Yeah. And he tried to kill himself too and survived.
So he did. So he killed his wife.
No. He killed his son because he said, I refuse to let another man raise my child. And that's like one of the, obviously, it was a crazy ass situation.
People are fucking crazy.
And
but the moral of the story is to not cheat. It's go seek some help.
Well, I think
that is not the moral of the story. Because you don't have to react. You don't have to You looked at me like I'm dumbfounded.
You said the moral of the story is to not cheat, and then you said
no.
It's not the moral of the story. I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word.
Okay, wait. I said that because when he described the video, you said the video of all the blood, whatever. Yeah. You said that the caption said,
"Stop cheating."
Stop cheating.
But it was never infidelity. That one.
Right, but even if
Hawaii people.
Yeah, but even if it was, that's not justified for cheating. So the why I'm saying that's why I said the moral of the story is to not stop cheating. Am I saying it right?
Not cheat.
Right, but when I said that the first time, he looked at me crazy.
But sometimes it's okay.
Whatever. Y'all understand?
Maybe not. But
seek help. Stop killing people.
So before we go to the next one, I just want to say about the last one. The 2 friends had said that her thing was to make everything better. He was already a pastor, so he must have felt that he was so close to God. So probably his ego was like, how can I get better than this? And
get better than her?
I mean,
his
to
wife?
her, like, like I'm already close to God or whatever. And then she might have put pressure on him or whatever. And he didn't have that respect, like Rika was saying, like, what more do you want me to do? And I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying he was right. I'm just pointing out that's what the friends of the girl had said. And they both already had money, so there wasn't like that problem. So either way, they were both wrong. Here's the next clip.
And his money was tax-free.
And his money was tax-free.